Let me ask you something from the heart. When you look at your life, do you feel peace or do you feel pressure? Because success without peace is exhaustion, and happiness without purpose is emptiness. When you wake up every morning, before the world asks you who you are, pause for a moment and ask yourself a simpler question. How do I want to live today? Because life is not shaped by rare moments of inspiration. It is shaped by ordinary habits repeated with sincerity. Many people wait for motivation to change their life. But wise people change their habits and let motivation follow. A woman's strength is often misunderstood. It is not just in how much she can handle, but in how consciously she chooses what to handle. The first habit is learning to begin the day with awareness. A calm start creates a calm direction. When the mind is rushed, the heart becomes restless. Even a few quiet minutes with yourself can align your thoughts before the noise of the world enters. The second habit is valuing energy over approval. Not every request deserves a yes, and not every opinion deserves a reaction. Peace is expensive, and it should not be given away cheaply. When you respect your emotional energy, you naturally begin to attract respect from others. Another powerful habit is feeding the mind with the right inputs. What you read, watch, and listen to daily quietly programs your thinking. If you constantly consume negativity, don't be surprised when hope feels distant. A disciplined mind is not one that knows everything, but one that chooses carefully. Gratitude is a habit that changes how life feels. It does not deny pain, but it prevents pain from defining you. When you end the day acknowledging even one small blessing, the heart softens. And a soft heart is not weak, it is deeply resilient. Keeping promises to yourself is another daily practice that builds silent confidence. Every time you say you will do something and you follow through, you strengthen self-trust. Confidence is not loud, it grows quietly when your actions match your intentions. There is also great power in responding instead of reacting. Reaction is automatic, response is conscious. When emotions rise, wisdom whispers. Learning to pause before speaking saves relationships, self-respect, and inner peace. Comparison is one habit that must be unlearned. The moment you compare your journey with someone else's, you stop walking your own path. Growth happens when focus turns inward. When effort is measured against who you were yesterday, not who someone else is today. Caring for the body is equally essential. A tired body makes even small problems feel heavy. Movement, rest, and nourishment are not luxuries, they are foundations. When the body is respected, the mind cooperates. At the end of the day, reflection is a sacred habit. Instead of asking, was today perfect? Ask, was today meaningful? Life improves not through harsh judgment, but through gentle awareness. Remember, transformation does not require dramatic changes. It requires daily sincerity. When habits change, destiny follows quietly. And when a woman commits to living consciously each day, her life itself becomes a message, calm, strong, and deeply inspiring. Every day offers a quiet opportunity to shape the kind of life we truly want, yet most of us are too busy reacting to life to consciously living it. A meaningful life does not demand perfection, it asks for presence. When a woman learns to live with awareness, her days stop feeling heavy, and her journey begins to feel purposeful. One of the most valuable habits is learning to pause. In a world that constantly pushes us to hurry, pausing feels unnatural, yet it is deeply healing. A short moment of stillness in the morning can bring clarity that lasts the entire day. When the mind is centered early, external chaos loses its power to disturb the inner balance. Another habit that transforms life is self-respect expressed through boundaries. Many women feel drained not because they do too little, but because they do too much for too many. Saying yes to everything slowly becomes saying no to yourself. When boundaries are practiced daily, relationships become healthier and the heart feels lighter. There is also wisdom in choosing growth over validation. Appreciation feels good, but dependence on it creates insecurity. When actions are guided by values rather than applause, confidence becomes stable. True confidence is not about being seen, it is about being aligned. Daily discipline may seem small, but its impact is immense. Simple acts like maintaining routine, honoring commitments, and being consistent create a sense of order within. Discipline is not restriction, it is self-care in its most mature form. It frees the mind from chaos and allows focus to flourish. Emotional balance is another habit worth cultivating. Feelings are powerful messengers, but they are not meant to be dictators. Learning to observe emotions without being controlled by them is a quiet strength. A calm response often holds more power than an intense reaction. Gratitude practice daily rewires the heart. When attention shifts from what is missing to what is present, contentment naturally arises. Even on difficult days, acknowledging one blessing keeps hope alive. Gratitude does not change circumstances immediately, but it changes how we carry them. Another essential habit is nurturing the body. Often underestimated, physical well-being directly affects emotional and mental stability. A well-rested body thinks more clearly, reacts more patiently, and dreams more boldly. Caring for health is not selfish, it is responsible. Letting go is also a habit, not an event. Holding on to past mistakes or regrets burdens the present. Each day offers a chance to release what no longer serves growth. Forgiveness, especially toward oneself, creates space for renewal. Ending the day with reflection builds wisdom. Instead of judging the day, simply observe it. What did it teach? What can be improved tomorrow? Life becomes lighter when learning replaces self-criticism. In the end, a woman's power does not come from dramatic transformations, but from steady inner refinement. When daily habits align with inner values, life begins to flow naturally. Without forcing change, change happens. And slowly, quietly, a life of strength, peace, and purpose takes shape. Life does not ask us to be extraordinary every day, it asks us to be sincere. Many women believe that transformation requires a perfect plan or a sudden breakthrough, but real change happens in the small choices made consistently. When intention becomes habit, effort turns into ease, and life begins to feel more balanced. One of the most grounding habits is learning to listen to yourself. Silence is not emptiness, it is clarity waiting to be heard. When a woman gives herself a few quiet moments daily, she begins to understand her own needs instead of constantly reacting to expectations placed upon her. Inner listening creates emotional stability. Another essential habit is protecting inner peace. Peace is fragile when it depends on others' behavior. The moment happiness is outsourced, disappointment becomes inevitable. Choosing calm responses over impulsive reactions is a daily practice that slowly builds inner authority. A composed mind sees solutions where a restless mind sees problems. Consistency in small responsibilities is also a powerful discipline. Doing simple tasks with care trains the mind to be present. When attention is scattered, stress increases. When attention is focused, even ordinary actions feel meaningful. Presence is the foundation of excellence. Many women underestimate the habit of self-kindness. Harsh self-talk may appear motivating, but it drains emotional energy. Speaking to yourself with patience and understanding strengthens resilience. Growth accelerates when effort is guided by compassion rather than criticism. Another transformative habit is learning to detach from outcomes. Effort is within our control. Results are not always. When actions are performed sincerely without anxiety about results, inner freedom emerges. Detachment does not mean indifference, it means trust. Trust that honest effort never goes wasted. Daily gratitude subtly shifts perspective. It reminds the heart that life is not only about what is lacking, but also about what is already present. Gratitude creates emotional abundance, and emotional abundance invites peace. Even a brief moment of thankfulness can soften a long day. Caring for physical well-being is often postponed, yet it influences everything else. When the body is neglected, the mind struggles. Gentle movement, proper rest, and mindful nourishment are habits that support emotional balance. A healthy body becomes a stable vessel for dreams and responsibilities. Another habit that brings maturity is letting go of comparison. Every individual carries a unique journey, shaped by unseen struggles and lessons. Measuring yourself against others only distracts from your own growth. Progress feels lighter when comparison is replaced with self-awareness. Reflection at the end of the day is like a quiet conversation with life. It is not about guilt, but about learning. What worked today? What needs patience tomorrow? Reflection converts experience into wisdom. Ultimately, a woman's true strength is not loud or aggressive. It is calm, steady, and rooted in daily awareness. When habits align with inner values, life begins to feel less like a struggle and more like a journey. Without rushing, without force, growth unfolds naturally. And in that quiet consistency, a life of purpose and peace takes shape. Many people spend their lives trying to change their circumstances, not realizing that the real transformation begins with changing daily behavior. Life is not shaped by what we know, but by what we practice. A woman may carry immense wisdom within her, yet without daily application, that wisdom remains unused potential. One of the most empowering habits is beginning the day with intention rather than urgency. When the mind wakes up in a rush, it carries restlessness throughout the day. A slow, conscious start, even for a few minutes, creates emotional stability. Intention acts like a compass, guiding choices calmly instead of reactively. Another habit that strengthens inner life is emotional responsibility. Often emotions are blamed on situations or people, but maturity begins when responsibility is taken for one's own reactions. When emotions are understood rather than suppressed, clarity replaces confusion. Emotional awareness transforms conflict into learning. Choosing simplicity in daily life is also a powerful discipline. Excessive desires create excessive stress. When contentment becomes a habit, peace becomes natural. Simplicity is not lack, it is freedom from unnecessary burden. A lighter life allows deeper focus on what truly matters. The habit of self-discipline deserves special attention. Discipline is often misunderstood as force, but in reality, it is a form of love. It is choosing long-term well-being over short-term comfort. When discipline is practiced daily, confidence grows silently. Self-trust is built through consistent action. Mindful communication is another habit that shapes relationships. Words have the power to heal or harm. Speaking with awareness, listening without interruption, and responding with patience can transform interactions. Many misunderstandings dissolve when communication is guided by empathy rather than ego. Gratitude, practiced daily, keeps the heart grounded. When appreciation becomes habitual, dissatisfaction weakens. Gratitude does not ignore struggles, it balances them. It reminds us that life is a mix of lessons and blessings, and both are necessary for growth. Another essential habit is honoring the body. Physical neglect often manifests as emotional fatigue. Movement, rest, and nourishment are investments, not indulgences. When the body feels cared for, the mind becomes cooperative. Health creates emotional resilience. Letting go of control is a habit that brings peace. Trying to manage everything creates anxiety. Trusting the process while doing one's best creates calm confidence. Control exhausts, trust empowers. Acceptance allows life to flow naturally. Ending the day with reflection cultivates wisdom. Reflection turns experience into insight. It helps recognize patterns, celebrate progress, and gently correct mistakes. Growth happens not through harsh judgment, but through patient observation. In essence, a woman's inner strength is built quietly, day by day. Habits shape character, and character shapes destiny. When daily actions align with inner values, life begins to feel harmonious. Without force or struggle, transformation unfolds naturally. And in that quiet consistency, true fulfillment is found. Life gently teaches us that what we do occasionally has little impact, but what we do daily shapes who we become. Many women carry responsibilities with grace, yet forget to nurture the one person who carries everything, themselves. When daily habits are aligned with awareness, life feels less overwhelming and more meaningful. One of the most transformative habits is learning to slow down mentally, even when life moves fast. A calm mind does not mean a problem-free life, it means a prepared heart. When thoughts are organized, emotions settle. Clarity arises not from overthinking, but from conscious thinking. Another essential habit is honoring personal values. Decisions become simpler when values are clear. When actions align with inner principles, guilt reduces and confidence increases. Living with integrity creates inner harmony, and inner harmony reflects in outer relationships. Learning to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally is a daily discipline. Reactions are driven by impulse. Responses are guided by wisdom. The space between stimulus and response is where maturity lives. Practicing this space daily builds emotional strength. A habit often overlooked is self-encouragement. Many women motivate others but are harsh with themselves. Gentle inner dialogue nurtures resilience. Growth flourishes where patience replaces pressure. Progress does not demand perfection, it requires persistence. Gratitude practiced consistently transforms perception. It shifts attention from scarcity to sufficiency. When appreciation becomes natural, dissatisfaction fades. Gratitude keeps the heart anchored even when circumstances are uncertain. Daily effort towards self-improvement, even in small measures, compounds over time. Reading a few pages, reflecting for a few minutes, or learning something new daily creates steady growth. Consistency, not intensity, creates lasting change. Caring for physical health is inseparable from emotional balance. When the body feels supported, the mind becomes stable. Proper rest, mindful eating, and gentle movement enhance energy and patience. Health strengthens resilience. Another important habit is letting go of comparison. Each life unfolds at its own pace. Measuring progress against others creates unnecessary pressure. True fulfillment comes from honoring one's own journey. Growth feels lighter when comparison is replaced with self-awareness. Ending each day with reflection nurtures wisdom. Reflection is not about regret, it is about learning. Reviewing the day with honesty and kindness prepares the mind for tomorrow. Reflection allows improvement without self-criticism. Ultimately, a woman's true power is not displayed through force or noise. It is expressed through steadiness, awareness, and compassion practiced daily. When habits align with purpose, life flows with greater ease. Transformation does not announce itself, it reveals itself quietly. And in that quiet commitment to daily growth, a life of peace, strength, and meaning naturally emerges. Remember this, the world does not decide your worth, your habits do. Confidence is not built by applause, it is built by consistency. When a woman changes her daily habits, she doesn't just change her life, she changes generations. So walk gently, think deeply, live intentionally, and let your life become a silent motivation. Thank you.